We are just a couple miles east of the LAX airport, just off the 405 and the 105 at the beautiful SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Chargers. 2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. First carry for James Conner.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A shotgun snap for Herbert. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Second and 10. Now it's Herbert. And the Broncos get there and take him down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Here's Herbert. Here's Johnson with a reception. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 44-yard line. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Able to avoid him at the 40. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They'll get this out wide to Boyd.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12 at the 30-yard line.
Counting down toward the midway point in corner 1. Play action. It's Herbert. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
Running on first down, Eckler. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
So still 14 yards to go, second down. Herbert now. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, LA. Austin Eckler, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chargers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0.
Joey Sly set to kick off.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. He's got him in, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's a big play there for the Broncos.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up second and 12. Off play action. Vote. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the former Bronco All-Pro, Chris Harris. And the Chargers are in great shape here as they take over at the 46-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
It's Connor as they stay on the ground, and not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On second down, Eckler. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. He'll try and run for it with Connor. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
They'll try the air now with Herbert. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The Chargers on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd down and 12. Herbert. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Justin Herbert looking to pass. He completes it to Boyd. And down inside the 15 he goes. 16 yards there. 2 straight plays of 16 yards and another first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
At the Broncos' 11-yard line.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defense.
And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
for the field goal. A 38-yard attempt.
And his kick here is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll hand it off now. Williams. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Vote. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he will have a Broncos first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down.
First down.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth.
Yes.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. On 1st and 10, Vote. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Off the play fake. Vote. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum, because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. A run here for J.D. McKissick. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Well, a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Back to throw. Vogt. He's got it. Touchdown. Noah Fant, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is down to a field goal.
Chargers 10, Broncos 7.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. Now he's forced out left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Herbert. That's into the hands of Eckler. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
On 1st down, Justin Herbert. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Johnson. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something.
Well, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. That one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Let's make these babies cry.
Eckler going to get it again on second down. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 49 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Juwan Johnson, his second touchdown on the season. And the interception by the Chargers D leads to a touchdown.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
They'll try and run it here. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time, 1-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Vote. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly. And that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fielded at the 33. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Pat Surtain up to make the play. last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. A little juke. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
It's Eckler again. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return, and it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 3rd quarter now from SoFi Stadium. Here's a 2nd and 10. They will run it. It's McKissick. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Foreseeing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
That's caught over the middle by Fant. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And taken right at the 35. So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Herbert off of play action. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Back to throw here, Herbert. He's airing it out for Williams. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Michael O.J. Mudia. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now, this offense, yeah, they keep wanting more, but they kind of got to be careful here, CD. I mean, we're still in the 3rd quarter. This game isn't over yet.
I would agree with you there because while they've had all kinds of success and hit on some deep balls like this, the one thing they can't do is start to get loose with the football. A lot of time left, as you mentioned, and if they keep turning it over, they'll bring them back into the game.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And here's a quick throw to Handler on the edge. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 10. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And it looks like he's going to have the first down as he'll mark this just over the 10-yard line. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Off play action. Vote. This will be caught. Judy. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
On 1st down, Vote. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And
and he'll get it. He's over for the touchdown. Justin Herbert, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Chargers are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. No gain on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Vote. That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding 2nd half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a 1st down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire 2nd half.
Here's McKissick. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
8 yards on the pickup brings up 2nd and 2.
Back to throw. Vote. They'll fire one downfield for Fant. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Noah Fant with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Broncos have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. McManus's point after is good, and the lead will be cut down to 14. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
72 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Going on the ground with Eckler. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. So that was a very nice play, Charles, from a very speedy quarterback.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And the Broncos get there and take him down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Hamler now on the return. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory.
At their own 14-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A carry now for McKissick. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Off the play fake. Vogt. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Well, we saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And this will not work out. The Chargers able to recover. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee. To say, I am impressed at your discipline because you came here and you said you were not going to eat any of the media buffet. You made it to the end. You didn't consume a single calorie.
I appreciate that. What you missed is me going to the concession stand outside of your eyesight and getting it done that way. Look, I mean, they were serving the good stuff. I had to do it.
Oh, man, but you're svelte, in good shape, but yeah, you cheated a little bit. We'll let it slide.
I appreciate that. Always a pleasure to work with you.
So, for the Chargers, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season.